3 minutes! Caught stealing. Let's go. This is a very cool and sexy movie, as made clear by its aesthetic and on the surface. But these are not words which typically describe the work of Darren Aronofsky, who, from his gritty early days through his high concept recent work, has been more concerned with psychological cinema on the fringes of life, religion, and the universe. But making something more mainstream, or more fun, as his lead actor has called it, should not be held against him, particularly when it's done quite this well. Welcome back to RVW Movies, home of the 3-minute movie media. I'm Reece T, reminding you to like, share, comment and follow, whether on Instagram, TikTok, Letterboxd or now on YouTube. But before I go on, a quick shout out to the Meandering Movie Podcast, who recently announced their hiatus. These guys are genuinely one of my favourite film socials, and I've always enjoyed your content and our interactions, so I sincerely hope to see you on here one day again soon. Sparrowing is when a conceptual artist lays bare their core skills by creating something familiar, as seen in Wes Anderson's French Dispatch. That feels an awful lot like what's happening in Caught Stealing with Darren Aronofsky. This is a true elevator pitch movie, the kind you can sell in one sentence, like when his punk rock neighbour asks him to take care of his cat for a few days, Hank Thompson finds himself in the middle of a motley crew of gangsters. It's a simple and entertaining setup for a simple and entertaining movie, and yet again, something atypical for this director. Not that Aronofsky can fully help himself, of course, with more than a few subversions along the way. Take the narrative theory of Chekhov's gun, for example, whereby if you introduce a gun in Act 1, then in Act 3 it must go off. Now, there are many guns in Caught Stealing, but the one most crucial, as introduced in Act 1, isn't actually a gun at all, yet when it returns in Act 3, go off is exactly what happens. As well as being cool and sexy, this film is also quite un-Aronofsky in how contemporary it is, geared towards a social media generation despite taking place in the 90s. The cast contribute to these priorities by sharing those traits themselves. There's Zoe Kravitz, alluring and intelligent as both actor and now as director, and Austin Butler, child star developing into megastardom through incredible beauty and intense mystique cultivated through work as Elvis Presley or the show-stopping Fade Rowther in Dune Part 2. Much like his peers Anderson, Nolan and Gerwig, even if to a lesser degree, Aronofsky attracts such talents to his films by virtue of his skill and his position as the rare modern-day auteur. Sometimes a good movie is like a good meal, and as the end of Ratatouille taught us, that meal need not always be gourmet nor classic to be something memorable. It may not surprise you to learn that I am a fan of many of the key ingredients in this film, from Aronofsky's one-time position as my favourite director, to the cast, like Butler, Kravitz and Action Bronson, to the background details, like the 90s and the life in baseball, and all the way through to the aesthetic, like New York City and, once again, Zoe Kravitz. It's hard to be objective about a movie containing so many of your soul foods, just as it would be a plate of sloppy nachos, but every now and then, something need not be the greatest thing you've consumed in your life, a year, or even a given week to really hit the spot.